My fiancée, Amber, broadcast to thousands online that her only reason for marrying me was financial, devoid of affection or regard. In response, I called off our wedding, watching her world crumble. I'm a 32-year-old network engineer at a suburban tech company, earning 78,000 annually with benefits. While not Silicon Valley wealth, it's a comfortable living, allowing for savings and no stress over car repairs. My days involve resolving server issues, tackling network outages, and politely declining executive requests for unwarranted admin access. Most people's eyes glaze over when I try to explain my job. They just know I'm the computer guy. For context, I grew up in a typical American suburb outside Columbus, Ohio. My parents divorced when I was 12, a rather common split. Dad was a Honda factory worker, mom a pediatric nurse. I spent weekdays with mom and weekends with dad. They simply drifted apart. I was always the studious type, building my first computer at 14 with earnings from odd jobs. My grades were good enough to get me into Ohio State, where I studied computer science. I graduated with manageable debt and climbed the IT ladder, landing my current role 4 years ago. My life has been fairly ordinary. I have a small circle of close friends, mostly gaming buddies or colleagues. I drive a reliable 2018 Subaru and live in a comfortable two-bedroom apartment with amenities I occasionally use. My 401k is stable, and I have about 65,000 in savings, a habit my father instilled in me. Always save at least 6 months worth of expenses. I listen to tech and history podcasts, play video games, and occasionally watch sports without excessive emotional investment. In essence, I'm a stable, ordinary guy. Amber, 27, was my opposite. A marketing coordinator at a chic downtown agency, she earned around 65,000 but lived as if she made six figures. Stunningly beautiful, blonde, and impeccably dressed, she always looked ready for a photo shoot, even for grocery runs. When we met at a friend's housewarming 3 years ago, I was astonished she spoke to me. She seemed physically out of my league. I recall her approaching me in the kitchen, remarking, "You're the only guy not trying to get my attention, so naturally, you got mine." I stammered something about being awkward at parties, and she laughed heartily. "I'm Amber," she said, extending her hand. "Mike," I replied, probably looking foolish. We talked for 2 hours. She appeared genuinely interested in my mundane job, asked insightful questions, and chuckled at my clumsy jokes. I assumed she was just being polite until she saved her number in my phone, instructing, "Text me tomorrow, not tonight. Tomorrow, so I know you're interested, but not desperate." I messaged her precisely at 1:00 p.m. the next day. Our first date followed that weekend. 2 years later, I proposed with a 4,800 ring, nearly 3 months of my salary, which I saved by drastically cutting expenses. I ate ramen several times a week for months while still taking her to expensive restaurants to avoid suspicion. The joy on her face when I presented the ring seemed worth every sacrifice, or so I believed. Our relationship felt strong, or so I thought. Minor issues cropped up. She disliked my reluctance to go out every weekend, scoffed at staying in for a movie instead of a 200 dinner, and labeled me practical to a fault while maxing out credit cards on designer bags that looked identical to me. Yet, she seemed to love me, and I loved her. Amber's obsession with social media was pathological. Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, Snapchat, she posted constantly, from breakfast photos to cryptic mood updates. Initially, I found it endearing, then annoying, eventually just accepting it as part of dating someone born after 1990. "Babe, no one cares what your lunch looks like." I'd say, "My followers do," she'd retort. "Some of us actually have a social presence. Not everyone wants to be invisible online like you." With 12,000 followers, she wasn't an influencer, but enough to receive freebies from local boutiques and believe she was building her personal brand. Our online presence as a couple was carefully curated. I appeared in about 1 in 20 posts, usually looking natural after 15 staged attempts. Her Instagram depicted us as a flawless couple with amazing dates and vacations, never hinting at arguments over her 300 purse purchases while our water heater needed replacing. I knew she was high maintenance and a bit superficial, but I believed a genuine person lay beneath. I was wrong. About a month ago, she mentioned a girls' empowerment night with work friends, Megan and Kylie adjust face masks, snacks, and career talk. She kissed me goodbye around 6:30 p.m., texted "Miss you already, babe" at 7:15 p.m., and I settled in for a peaceful evening. I ordered pizza and started playing Elden Ring. Around 11 p.m., I noticed something odd. She hadn't posted anything all night. This woman documented her shadow if it looked aesthetic. No boomerang of face masks, no group selfies, no Taylor Swift dance stories. Strange. I logged into an old burner Instagram account I created for work-related social media analytics testing. 2487, no profile picture, 0 posts. I searched for Amber. There she was on Instagram Live titled Girl Boss Night with about 45 viewers. I clicked. The camera was propped on what looked like a water bottle. Amber, Megan, and Kylie were on a sectional sofa, sparkling water and snacks on the coffee table. They were giggly, talking over each other, full of energy. Amber read comments from her phone. Thanks, Jenny Loves 94. Yes, this is my natural hair color. Then someone asked, how's wedding planning going with the IT guy? Megan leaned into view. Yeah, Amber, is Mike even involved? Or are you doing everything? Amber rolled her eyes dramatically. Mike is, what's the word? He's so freaking basic. He's financially stable, which is the only reason I'm still with him. Good credit score, no debt, actual savings account, but God, the man wears the same 3 button-downs and thinks Olive Garden is a date night. They all laughed. Kylie chimed in, but he bought you that fat rock. Amber held up her hand, her 1.5 carat diamond gleaming. Yeah, only because I showed him exactly which one to buy and told him if it wasn't at least this big, I'd say no. Took him forever to save up for it too. Like, just put it on credit like a normal person. Then she looked directly at the camera and said, he's a stepping stone, not the destination. Once we're married and I get my business off the ground, who knows? People grow apart. She winked. Kylie laughed. Savage. Someone in the comments wrote, does he know you feel this way? Lol. Amber smirked. He doesn't watch my lives. He's probably playing video games like a teenager. Then she took another sip of her sparkling water and changed the subject to a new diet. I sat there, controller forgotten, feeling as if I'd been punched. My brain replayed her words. Stepping stone, not the destination. 3 years together, an engagement, wedding plans, talks of someday having kids, and to her, I was just a walking ATM. I didn't rage or throw anything. I didn't confront her immediately. I just sat, letting the harsh reality sink in. The woman I intended to spend my life with had publicly declared I was merely a financial arrangement, a means to an end. I exited the live stream but screen recorded the last few minutes. Then I turned off my PC, went to bed, and stared at the ceiling until she texted that she was on her way home. The next morning, she arrived in workout clothes more expensive than my monthly car payment, dropped her overnight bag, gave me a quick peck, and immediately started making her detox smoothie with 15 per serving ingredients. How was your night? I asked, keeping my voice even. So fun, just what I needed. Megan's thinking about leaving her boyfriend. He's such a loser, she said. I nodded. Cool. What did you do? She asked, not looking up from her phone. Nothing much. Played some games, watched a movie, I replied. She muttered, already scrolling Instagram. That's when it truly hit me. 3 years spent with someone who viewed me solely as a financial blueprint. All the subtle comments that should have been red flags flooded back. When are you going to ask for a raise? Jake at my office makes way more than you. Can't we go somewhere nicer for vacation? My followers will think I'm dating a broke guy. Don't you want to apply for that management position? The salary bump would help with the wedding. Every discussion revolved around money, status, appearances. She critiqued my clothes, my haircut, my car, all while spending my money on her lifestyle. In 3 years, she never once inquired about my dreams, my childhood, or what made me happy. And like an idiot, I had been too grateful a beautiful woman was interested in me to notice I was being used. Let me provide some examples of how one-sided things were. Last year, my dad had a health scare a possible heart attack that turned out to be severe indigestion. I was worried sick. Amber's response, can we talk about this later? I'm trying to finish this sponsorship post. I was passed over for a promotion I really wanted. When I told Amber, she said, well, maybe if you dress better for work, people would take you more seriously. Want me to help you shop for better clothes? No, I'm sorry, or that sucks. Just immediate blame. For my 31st birthday, I wanted a simple grilling and games gathering with friends. She vetoed it, claiming it wouldn't look good on Instagram, and instead organized a dinner at a trendy restaurant where she invited her friends, took countless photos, then spent the entire time talking to them while I felt like a prop. Every time we visited my parents, she was glued to her phone, then complained on the drive home about how boring they were. Yet, I had to be fully engaged and charming when we visited her family. The list is endless. For 3 years, I rationalized her behavior. She's just stressed. She grew up differently. She has high standards, but that Instagram Live cut through all the illusions. This wasn't love, it was a transaction to her, and I was getting the short end of the stick. For the next week, I remained calm. I worked, came home, and acted normally. Internally, though, I was meticulously evaluating our relationship, finances, and future. Not out of anger, but out of self-respect. I realized I deserved better than being someone's stepping stone. While Amber posted wedding inspiration boards and honeymoon polls, I systematically unraveled our lives. First, I did a complete financial audit. My annual salary, 78, 0, pre-tax. Her annual salary, 65, 0, pre-tax. My savings, approx. 65, 0 across various accounts. Her savings, approx. 4, 300, which vanished with every designer sale. Joint savings for wedding, honeymoon, 32, 400, of which I contributed 28, 0. My retirement accounts, 112, 0. Her retirement account, 0. That's for old people. Monthly rent, 200. I paid 700. She paid 500, citing my more stressful job. Utilities, 100% me. Groceries, mostly me except her specialty items. Her credit card debt, 22, 0 across 4 cards. My credit card debt, 0, paid off monthly. Seeing it all laid out was a wake-up call. I was being financially drained while she lived beyond her means on my dime. Next, I called our wedding venue. 15, 0 deposit, mostly from my savings. I explained the situation to Karen, the manager. So, you're calling to cancel? She asked. Not exactly, I replied. I'm calling to see if I can transfer the reservation to a different name and get my deposit back. We don't, usually. My fiancé publicly announced she's only marrying me for financial stability and plans to leave me once she gets what she wants. I have video evidence. Silence. Then, let me see what I can do. Karen came through. Not only did she agree to refund my deposit, but she also put a note in their system preventing Amber from rebooking the date. The refund would take 30 days, perfect for my timeline. Next, I contacted our Bali honeymoon resort, an 8-200 package, fully refundable up to 60 days prior. Easy. I called my bank and discreetly separated our finances. The joint savings had 32, 400, roughly 28, 0 of which was mine, with documentation of all my deposits. The banker helped me transfer my portion to a new private account at a different bank. Then, I called my landlord. Only my name was on our apartment lease. I need to break my lease early, I explained. Personal emergency. That's a 2-0 fee, he replied. What if I found you a new tenant? We'd waive the fee. Perfect. A buddy's lease was ending, and he was looking for a place in my apartment's price range. Win-win. I rented a small furnished apartment across town on a month-to-month lease for $1,800, less than I paid for our larger place. I arranged movers for Thursday when Amber would be at an all-day marketing conference. The final touch. I revisited the Instagram Live. It was still up. I recorded the entire thing, had it transcribed, and saved screenshots not for blackmail, but for closure. So when my mind tried to gaslight me later, maybe it wasn't that bad, I'd have proof. Then I logged out of all shared accounts, Netflix, Hulu, Amazon, even our shared photo storage. I removed my credit card from all her linked accounts. I also listed everything I owned before we moved in together versus what we'd bought jointly. Anything purchased together, I left. Anything mine beforehand, I took. Fair is fair. The plan wasn't about vengeance. It was about self-preservation, extracting myself from a toxic relationship with minimal drama and starting over with my dignity intact. And I waited. The day before executing the plan, I wavered. 3 years is a long time. We had memories, inside jokes, routines. I nearly called it off. Almost. Then I overheard her on the phone with Megan. Yeah, the venue was booked. It's not as upscale as I wanted, but it's what we can afford with Mike's budget. I'm working on him for the upgraded catering package. He keeps talking about staying within budget, but I mean, it's my wedding day. There it was again. My wedding day, not our. As if I were just the wallet for her princess fantasy. Doubt vanished. Thursday arrived. Amber left at 7, 0 a.m. for her conference, dressed in a blazer more expensive than my first car, giving me a distracted love you and make dinner reservations for tonight. I'm networking with VPs. As soon as she left, I texted the movers. All clear. They arrived at 8, 0 a.m. Everything was boxed and labeled, my clothes, electronics, personal items, family heirlooms. We were done by 10, 0 a.m. I left behind anything we'd bought together, the overpriced sofa she insisted on, the dining set that had to match her aesthetic, the bed we shared. I placed the engagement ring, the one I'd worked overtime for months to afford, in a water glass on the kitchen counter. Poetic, I thought, since she'd been drinking sparkling water when she revealed her true feelings. I didn't leave a note. There was no need. She had broadcast to the world what she thought of me. I was simply taking her at her word. By noon, I was settling into my new place. By 2:00 p.m., my internet was working. By 5:00 p.m., I was on my new couch, nothing fancy, just comfortable when my phone exploded. The first call came at 5:23 p.m. I let it go to voicemail, then another and another. The first voicemail, "Mike, where are you? Where's your stuff? Call me back. This isn't funny." The second, "Are you freaking kidding me? You moved out over what? Call me." The third, "If this is about that stupid Instagram live, you're being ridiculous. You know I love you. Please call me." They grew progressively more desperate, then angry, then tearful. Our text messages flooded in. 5:42 p.m. "Mike, where are you?" 5:43 p.m. "Why is your stuff gone?" 5:45 p.m. "Answer your phone." 5:52 p.m. "Is this a joke? Because it's not funny." 6:01 p.m. "I can't believe you did this to me." 6:08 p.m. "Over one stupid comment." Really? 6:15 p.m. "You're acting like a child." 6:23 p.m. "The ring, too. Seriously?" 6:30 p.m. "I'm sorry if I hurt your feelings, but this is an extreme reaction." 6:45 p.m. "Please just call me so we can talk about this." 7:03 p.m. "Mike, I'm worried about you." 7:15 p.m. "If you don't call me back, I'm calling the police to do a wellness check." 7:32 p.m. "I'm coming to find you." I turned my phone off. When I reactivated it the next morning, I had 78 missed calls, 134 text messages, 23 voicemails, and notifications she'd tried to access my email and bank accounts. I ignored them all. Around noon, a text from my buddy Dave. "Dude, Amber is having a complete meltdown on social media. Did you guys break up?" I checked her Instagram. She'd posted a tearful selfie, strategically smudged makeup, with the caption, "When the person you thought would stand by you forever abandons you without even a conversation? Men really will waste years of your life and walk away without explanation." The comments were divided. Her regular followers offered sympathy. "You deserve better, girl. Men are trash. His loss, honey." But others chimed in. "Wasn't this the guy you called a stepping stone on your live? Didn't you say you were only with him for financial stability? I saved that live. Want me to post it?" She frantically deleted comments, but they kept appearing. By evening, she appeared at my new place. I'm still unsure how she found the address, likely through a mutual friend. The building had secure entry, so she couldn't get in. She stood outside, calling my name, alternating between sobbing and screaming, "Mike, please, I didn't mean any of it. It was just stupid girl talk." You can't throw away 3 years over one mistake. I love you. The wedding is in 4 months. What am I supposed to tell people? I watched from my window, 4 floors up. I felt nothing. No anger, no heartbreak, no satisfaction, just peace. As if I'd removed a parasite that had been draining me for years. Security eventually asked her to leave or they'd call the police. She left, but the text continued. "You're being so immature. I can't believe you did this to me. What about the venue, the flowers, my dress?" Notice how it was all about her, never once expressing she missed me, only what I provided. The final blow came when she realized my other actions. Why is my credit card declined? Did you cancel our cards? I hadn't. I'd simply removed mine as the backup payment method on her maxed out cards. I finally sent one text. You said I was a stepping stone. I'm just helping you move on to that destination you mentioned. Good luck with your journey. Her immediate response, that's not fair, and you know it. I was just talking nonsense with my friends. Everyone does that. I didn't reply. She tried a different angle. What about all the wedding deposits? We're going to lose thousands of dollars. I didn't reply. She escalated. My parents already bought plane tickets. What am I supposed to tell them? I didn't reply. She tried guilt. I thought you were different. I thought you really loved me. I didn't reply. She tried threats. I'm going to tell everyone what a jerk you are. I didn't reply. She tried one last plea. Can we please just talk in person? I still love you, Mike. After 24 hours of silence from me, she posted again on Instagram. This time, an angry rant about how men can't handle strong women, run away from confrontation, and break promises when things get tough. Again, comments were mixed. Her ardent followers supported her, but others were skeptical. Someone had apparently recorded parts of her Instagram live, and it was circulating. Her attempts to play the victim were backfiring. I still said nothing. A week passed. I went to work, came home, and began rebuilding my life. I informed my boss about the situation in case Amber tried to contact me at work. He was supportive, offering time off, which I didn't take. Mutual friends texted, asking what happened. I kept it simple. Amber made it clear she was with me for financial stability, not love. I believed her and acted accordingly. Some understood, others thought I overreacted. I didn't care. The hardest part was her family. Her mom called me, crying, asking what happened. I liked her mom. She had always been kind. I explained gently. She was quiet for a moment, then said, I'm sorry. I raised her better than that. Amber tried a new strategy. She started appearing at places she knew I frequented. My favorite coffee shop, the gym, the comic book store, always coincidentally there. I changed my routines. Then she tried mutual friends, asking them to talk to me or arrange accidental meetings. Most refused. Those who tried were quickly shut down. She had made her feelings clear. I told them I was simply respecting her honesty. Through it all, I maintained direct radio silence. No calls, no texts, no emails. I knew any engagement would only prolong the pain and drama. This wasn't about punishing her. It was about respecting myself enough to walk away from someone who saw me as a means to an end rather than a genuinely loved partner. 2 weeks passed. I blocked her on everything and focused on rebuilding. I got a promotion at work. It turns out when you're not constantly being told you're not good enough, your confidence improves. I resumed going to the gym. I reconnected with friends she had deemed not good enough for our social circle. Then the financial reality hit her. Amber had been living far beyond her means, relying on my income and savings to bridge the gap. Without me, things crumbled quickly. First, she couldn't pay rent. My former landlord contacted me, saying she was 3 weeks late and asking if I knew how to reach her. Not my problem anymore, I replied, but I know someone looking for a place if you need to fill it quickly. Next, her car was repossessed. She'd been making minimum payments on a BMW she couldn't afford, and without my financial support, the bank took it back. Then her friends started distancing themselves. Megan and Kylie, it turns out, enjoyed partying with Amber when she was footing the bill with my credit card. Without that, they found other friends. The real karma, though, came from that marketing conference she'd attended the day I moved out. She'd been networking for a new, higher-paying position at a larger agency. She got the job and then lost it when the hiring manager saw her social media meltdown. In her industry, public image matters, and hers had tanked. I know all this not because I was stalking her or asking around, but because she couldn't stop documenting her downfall on social media, interspersed with cryptic quotes about betrayal and finding your strength. She emailed me from a new address since I'd blocked her main one. Mike, I'm desperate. I can't make rent. My car is gone. I might lose my job. I know I don't deserve it, but I need help just a loan to get back on my feet. I'll pay you back, I swear. Please. I have nowhere else to turn. I waited 3 days, then replied, that sounds really challenging. Have you considered that maybe this is just a stepping stone to something better? People grow apart from their financial problems all the time. Good luck with your journey. Was it petty? Maybe, but it felt incredibly satisfying to throw her words back at her. She must have shown my response to someone because my phone exploded with text from her friends calling me heartless, cruel, a monster for abandoning someone in need. I sent them all the same thing, a link to the saved Instagram Live where their friend had revealed her true feelings about me. The text stopped. Around this time, I received an unexpected message from Kylie, one of her friends, who had been present during the infamous live. Hey, Mike, I know you probably hate me, and that's fair, but I wanted to say I'm sorry for laughing along with what Amber said that night. It wasn't cool. She's been saying that kind of stuff for a while, and I just went along with it. You seem like a good guy, and you deserved better. I appreciated the apology, but didn't pursue the conversation. I was moving on. The final update came last week. I heard through mutual friends that Amber had to move back in with her parents in the suburbs. Her personal brand completely collapsed when someone created a compilation video of all her materialistic posts alongside the clip of her calling me a stepping stone. She lost most of her followers and, with them, her identity. Her parting shot was a long Instagram post about her journey of self-discovery and how she was taking time to reflect on toxic relationship patterns. She never admitted what she did wrong, never took responsibility for her actions. Classic Amber. Meanwhile, I'm dating again. Nothing serious, just enjoying meeting people who genuinely want to know me, not what I can provide. My new apartment feels like home. I'm saving for a house new one I'll buy because I like it, not because it will look good on someone's Instagram. Sometimes I reflect on how close I came to legally binding myself to someone who saw me as nothing more than a walking wallet. It would have meant alimony, possibly child support, years of manipulation and gaslighting, all avoided because she couldn't resist the validation of strangers on a live stream. The wedding would have cost me $35,000. The divorce would have cost much more. Instead, I invested that money in myself. Best return I'll ever get. It's been just over 6 months since I walked away from Amber and that life. I wanted to provide an update since my original post gained significant attention. First, thank you for all the support. The comments and messages truly helped during those initial weeks when I questioned myself. To the few who labeled me a jerk for how I handled it, perhaps you're right, but I have no regrets. So, here's where things stand. That promotion I mentioned evolved into an even better opportunity. One of our clients offered me a position as their IT director, 110, zero a year, plus bonuses and stock options. I accepted. It's the first time in my life I've earned a six-figure salary. The irony, given Amber's complaints about my earnings, is not lost on me. I bought a house. Nothing extravagant, just a 3-bedroom ranch in a nice neighborhood with good schools. I'm thinking long-term here. The down payment came from what would have been our wedding fund. Every time I walk through the front door, I feel a sense of peace knowing it's mine. No one can tell me what color to paint the walls or complain that my furniture isn't aesthetic enough. The dating scene has been interesting. I've gone out with a few women, some great, some not so great. Nothing serious yet, but I'm not rushing. The difference is now I'm seeking a true partner, not just someone who photographs well. I want someone who asks about my day and genuinely listens to the answer. Someone who doesn't see my stability as something to exploit, but something to match. As for Amber, I've maintained my distance, but it's a small city, so I hear things. She's still living with her parents, still posting inspirational quotes and selfies, but her engagement numbers have plummeted. She tried to rebrand as a personal growth coach, but it didn't take off. Last I heard, she's working at a retail store at the mall, the same one she used to mock people for shopping at. The funniest part, she's dating a guy who looks exactly like me. Same build, same hair color, similar style. But from what mutual friends tell me, he drives a leased luxury car he can barely afford and lives in a fancy apartment that devours 50% of his income. All flash, no substance. She found her match. Her final attempt to contact me came about 2 months ago. She sent a handwritten letter to my new house, still unsure how she got the address. Pages and pages about how she'd grown and changed and realized what's really important in life. She ended it by asking if we could get coffee sometime. I didn't respond. Some people asked in the comments of my original post if I ever felt bad about how things turned out for her. The honest answer is, sometimes, briefly. There were good times in those 3 years, moments when I thought what we had was real. But then I recall her face on that Instagram live, the casual cruelty in her voice when she called me a stepping stone, and any guilt evaporates. You know what's ironic? If she had just said those things privately to her friends, I probably never would have known. I might be married to her right now, believing she loved me while she orchestrated her exit strategy. In a strange way, her need for social media validation saved me from a much worse fate. So that's it. The story doesn't end with a dramatic conclusion. No major confrontation, no tearful reconciliation, no blockbuster finale, just me building a better life on my own terms while she grapples with the repercussions of her choices. And if there's a lesson here, I suppose it's this: observe who someone is when they believe you're not watching. That's their true self.